quick story time of when I had to save an inmate from going to meet his maker. So I was at the federal prison at this time, and it was a day that we had to let the inmates go back to the yard, general population. So I was working in the SHU, and if you don't know what the SHU is special housing unit where the inmates are locked down 23 hours a day. They get their 1 hour rec, and that's SHU. And they're in SHU because they did something on the yard that you know made them come to SHU, or they was in protective custody or something like that. So it's a lot of reasons that they can come to the SHU. But this particular day, the inmates were supposed to go back out to the yard. Now, when you're working with inmates, each inmate has their own jacket. Like they have things on their info that let you know, hey, this inmate shouldn't be with that inmate. Keep this inmate away from that inmate. So that's what it's called, like a keep away or whatever. So in situations, inmates have to stay away from other inmates. It could be because of a gang, it could be because of a lot of things. So if you know, you know. And this particular day, the lieutenant in the SHU, he was rushing us to get this certain inmate back to the yard. And he was trying to go home. I think it was one of them days where he was supposed to be gone already, and he had to stay there a little bit longer. So he was rushing us like, hey, go ahead and get these inmates packed up, get them out, do. And, we looking at the list like we see this inmate, that inmate, and we talking about it amongst ourselves and like, man, did this inmate get into it with this inmate over at the other yard, or they had something going on with the gang and they weren't supposed to be around each other. So we were saying that, but the lieutenant was adamant about go ahead and get these guys out. So we like, hey man, he want us to let these guys out, so we're gonna let them out. But we already talking to each other like, man, that ain't no good idea to put these two back on the yard together when we knowing that they shouldn't be on the yard. And so, like I was saying, the lieutenant kept rushing us, get them out, get them out, get them out. So we go in there and pack them up. We get their stuff ready, and so we get in the salad port. It's called a salad port. It's like an area where you wait until they open the door. You have to call them and they let you and they open the door or whatever. And had to call control, open the door or whatever. So we get in the salad port, they got their bags, they got their stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? And we check their stuff, but this particular inmate, he was real slick, a very experienced inmate, and for some odd reason, I can't remember his situation. The guy that had the tool, I can't remember who checked his stuff or not. I can't remember. But anyway, so it was time for them to go. So we get in the salad port, and I'm looking at my homie CG. I'm looking at him like, you see how dude looking back there? Like the one that you know he got poked. He was looking scared. Like you could see the fear in his eyes, and he already knew that something was about to happen. And so my antennas go up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my homie. I'm like, giving him the eye, like you see, you know what I'm saying? You see our buddy looking, and so I'm already knowing, like, man, it's about to go down. That's what we thinking. We making eye contact, and we see the body language, we see the face, and we just knowing what it looked like. And the whole day, it just felt funny. Like you could feel it. You could feel when something is about to happen. And they open the door. Control open the door. Boom. They walk out. You see Buddy walk out, and next thing you know, Buddy coming out his bag with that thing. And I'm like, oh hell. So he get the poker now. It's I think it's two on two or one against two. But anyway, you really don't be having a chance when somebody got a knife. So the one guy had that knife. And when I say he went to poking, I'm talking about hitting him, and blood everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And the one guy I was closest to, he was getting stabbed, and he ended up on the ground, like at my feet, because I got my OC out spraying the OC. We trying to, get the situation contained. And like I said, the guy, he ended up close to me. So I'm not thinking, it's like it was like a reaction. And so he was getting poked, like you could see him getting poked. And I grabbed him, like big dude too. But my adrenaline was pumping, and I'm talking about grab dude and just drug him into the salad port to safety, like without even thinking about it. Like I wasn't even thinking. Like I knew I wasn't in harm's way, but I knew if I didn't act fast, he was gonna die right there. So I grabbed him and threw him in the salad port, and that was his way of getting to safety. But the other guy, he got poked up so bad first that he had to go to the hospital. But the guy that was close to me, he had got poked up, but I was able to grab him and sling him to safety, man. And when I tell you, that guy thanked me every single day after that, and told me, man, I appreciate you for saving my life, because he know if I wouldn't have grabbed him and pulled him to safety, he wouldn't live to talk about that story right there. You know what I'm saying? And it was unfortunate, and I think a lot of mistakes was made when we found out that them guys were going back to the yard together. A lot of mistakes was made, man. But I know a lot of people gonna get in the comments and have a lot of questions or whatever. But it was just one of them situations where a mistake was made, and that's how you know that in the prison system, if you have a mistake like that, a small mistake like that, somebody can lose their life. It could be you, it could be the inmate, but somebody can lose their life if you make a mistake like that, especially with that paperwork. It go on a lot. You have to read that paperwork and see who can be around who, because if you don't, it's on site with them dudes. Like it ain't even nothing that gonna be talked about. If me and you can't be around each other, and there's a reason we can't be around each other, and you put us together, we're gonna go at it. It's not going to be any talking or none of that. We are going to go at it right there on the spot. So, correctional officers, when you are running the rec yard or something like that, you're in a housing unit, make sure you're paying attention to that paperwork and see who can be around who. Okay? Because that particular day, those guys wasn't supposed to be around each other. But, I can't just blame all of it on the lieutenant, but he had a big part in the reason why that happened, because he was so adamant about getting those guys out there to the yard. And one of the guys was like the orderly. So he was kind of giving him passes, and I really didn't like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just soft on Buddy. You know what I'm saying? He was just letting him do a lot of things that he shouldn't have been doing. And, it was just a lot of stuff going on that shouldn't have been going on. And like I said, I know y'all gonna have a lot of questions or whatever, but it's more to the story, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to talk about how I wasn't thinking, and I just grabbed Buddy and saved his life. And like I said, he thanked me every time he seen me after that. But that was a quick story time, man.